happy Wednesday. Welcome to the spot, the Stacked After Hours spot. I am your host, Natalie Cosby, and welcome to the show for grown folk. Happy 420, y'all. We were late because we were back in the green room blazing. I'm playing. But we are a little bit on CPT time, but it's okay. Tonight's show, we are talking about being chosen. You're trying to get chose, and does it up your value? So y'all get ready, get your cocktails, and get those fingertips loose because we want to hear your questions and comments for tonight's show. Here at Shy, we always keep it lit and enlightening. Take a Woo!
Ooh,
Everybody, happy 420. If y'all blaze or gummy or whatever, I hope everybody's having a great Wednesday. Tonight's panel, we have some throwbacks, we have some sexy folks, and we have some new tall people in the crowd. So let's get started. So, new to the show, ladies, he's tall, he's a poet, he's an activist, and he has swings in his backyard. I don't know what the hell that's about. But and y'all know those Negroes, those creative Negroes, like to get freaky in other ways. Let's welcome Mr. Ty Allen. Say hi, Ty. Ty, you shake your head like that. You shake your head like that. Stop it. Ty. Ty's been
Lord have mercy.
next. She's back. She's a fashionista, a dentist. And most importantly, she loves a good cocktail. And honey, she's got that $1,000,000 smile. Let's welcome Dr. Tanisha Francis. Hi, Tanisha.
hello,
Hello,
hello.
hello. And then finally, I call him our champipple brother. He could drink champagne for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and will continue to drink it as long as he couldn't get drunk. Let's welcome Mr. Flyzell, aka the Brooklyn Bachelor, known as to us, Kwame Christian. Hey, Kwame.
Hey.
Hello. And then finally, my co-host, my ace, Miss Sunshine, Anthea Jeffrey. Hello, Sunshine. We're gonna be in Antigua next week, y'all, so we're not gonna be here, but we're gonna keep it lit tonight for y'all. So we are talking about being chosen. And what does that mean and how does that look? And we have been getting letters from y'all. So Anthea received a letter tonight. We're going to talk about that and then we're going to start to unpack what does chosen mean now at this age. So go on, Anthea. Let's go with our dear Sa.
All right. So, dear Sa, there's someone that I really like, but they don't seem to be checking for me. We have hung out a couple of times in the same circle, and he's always kind and pleasant to me, but he has not made any moves on me. We have exchanged numbers and we text a hey, hello from time to time. I flirt with him all the time and drop hints that I'm interested, but he's not matching my energy. I'm dating a few other guys, but nothing more than something to do rather than having any real interest in any of them. One of them is really digging me though. He is cool, but I'm not feeling him like that, even though my friends keep telling me to give him a chance. There's an event coming up that everyone is invited to, including the dude that I really like. And almost everyone has a partner that is going with them, except for me and maybe two other older hags. I can always ask the dude that I really like to go with me, but I want him to choose me. I want to be chosen by him, damn it. I know I can choose the one that already likes me, but that's not what I want. Please help, Sa.
Okay, first of all, can we call out the shade of the two old hags? I hope that ain't her friends. That's so damn shady. Damn. Two old hags? Damn. All right. So y'all, she's trying to be chose. She
Mm.
wants this dude. She's giving him hips. What is going on with her? Or what is the dude giving her, or what is she not getting that she wants?
I,
Thought.
I don't believe. Yeah,
Go
I'm
ahead,
I'm
Tanisha.
gonna go for it. I don't. I believe that she should go ahead and go to the. I mean, if she wants to go to the party, go ahead and go. But I don't believe in pursuing or going to chase down any man at this point in my life. Because you know what? Let me tell you what I've come to know. Men are going to do what they want to do. If they want you, they're going to come get you. Men are hunters. Men like to hunt. Men like to chase. And at this point, men are going to go get what they want. They're going to pursue. If he wants you, he will come get you. And I think as sisters, we need to learn how to just sit on our throne. And when I say sit on our throne, I just mean be ladies. Be the queen that we are. Be a woman, be a lady, be soft. We don't really have to go pursue them. I mean, we can let our feelings be known. I mean, you can flirt, let it be known that you're interested, but we don't have to go do their job. You know? We don't have to go pursue them. If they want you, if he wants you, he'll come get you. And I
So,
think that's the beauty in all of the whole I think that's the beauty of relationships and chasing and hunting and being coy a little bit.
but is her ego? She has a dude that likes her.
Right, right. And
If she doesn't, but she does not want to go with him. So
go by
is
go
that her ego, or is it just like, are we? Is she trying to go for the things that she can't have?
if you don't like, and also that's another thing, don't waste your time on things you don't want. If you don't want him, don't waste his time either. Because guess what? There's probably another sister who does want him.
Mm.
So let him be valued and be cherished and be treated the way he needs to be treated by a sister who wants him. Because that's how we get trauma and messed up brothers too. So don't waste his time and mess him up for a good woman who can treat him the way he needs to be treated. So
Okay.
I don't believe in using men for your ego and stroking yourself to build up your self-esteem. I
Yeah.
mean, let that brother be treated right by the sister who wants him.
Okay.
Don't use him.
True. True.
Yeah.
Ty, thoughts? You're on mute, Ty.
I think the doctor said most of it. One, I don't understand the idea of she's not even. She says that she's pursuing someone, or she's giving off hints. This is not third grade. If you want
Yeah.
something, say it. If
Mm-hmm.
you think he's that interesting, tell him. If you because he might be waiting for her to be in what his mind is an overt or a clear opportunity, a gate to actually pursue her. We don't know that. So she's playing subterfuge, she's playing guile, and no one's getting anything. But the idea of I'm not going to ever want to out to date when you're waiting for someone else, but don't play anyone else while doing that. I agree with the doctor. Let that brother who likes you, who wanted something else, if you're not interested in what he wants.
Mm.
That's lazy loving. That's not even pimping. That's lazy loving. Let that go and rock out.
Mhm.
So
Right.
it's lazy love and not feminine. Damn, Ty. You
No,
want to be so
I didn't say not feminine. I said not cool.
not
That's
cool.
not pimping. That's not pimping. Like this idea that people have in their mind that if I have multiple people yearning for me is something to be it's a chevron on your chest. It's not. It's not. It's not cool. There's nothing nice about using people. In the essence, when you're doing that and they want more and you're giving them less just to keep them around, that's disrespectful.
But what it sounds like to me, is she not reading the hints? Maybe he's not interested.
Exactly. Maybe he's just not into her.
Why make an intellectual leap when one person can ask? If you really want that bad, you can always go, you know what? I was thinking A plus B. And you get an answer. And then I will clarify and clear everything up.
I think as women, and I'm just going to speak, we want to be chosen, right?
We
And we
want to
want to
be
be
them.
chosen by
Yeah.
who we want to be
Yeah.
chosen by.
I think as women, um, I feel personally that as a woman, I don't feel like is there. I don't feel that I have to hunt. I feel like men are natural hunters. I feel that that is their not. I'm not going to say their job, but that's what they do. They pursue, they hunt, they chase, and
So
And when they do that as women, then we are able to show up, and then we're able to say yes, no, and then we're able to be in that relationship. And as women, then we actually feel some sense of security of knowing, oh, okay, this is this man's intention for us. And then
But
we know how to be in that relationship, as opposed to the minute we go in there pursuing and hunting and chasing, it gets a little sloppy when we start doing that. Because then what?
Hold on,
typically,
one at a time. Hold on. To Kwame and then Ty.
I'm
Kwame, you
sorry.
had your hand up, but you're on mute, honey. You're on mute.
Okay. All
Go
right.
ahead.
So we've been through these dynamics since grade school. The person that you want doesn't want you, and the person that wants you, you don't want. So it seems like that's going to follow us up until we're in our 80s. But the dynamics are different now. You know, closed mouths don't get fed, and there's a lot of competition out here. So with the ladies, I mean, let's be real. There's more, and I think Natalie and Sunshine, we spoke about this last Saturday. There's there's more eligible women out there than there are more quote unquote eligible men that you want. So the competition for those eligible men is greater than it's ever been. And women nowadays that just want to just stand pat and wait for the guy to come to them, there's 10 to 20 other women that are saying the same thing. But some of those women are like, bump that. I'm going to come out of my comfort zone and either shoot my shot or pick some type of choosing signal and make my interest known. And, you know, in 2022, sitting on your hands is not really getting a lot of the end results that women want. So, you know, if you really want something, like women are, they're going about their careers, they're going about that, they're getting it, they're going about a lot of things in their lives, and they're going ahead with it. But it seems like with men, they just rather just, you know what, I'm gonna just sit back and be chosen. But that's relative. You know, it's almost like it's free game out here. So, and the competition is fierce. So why would you just sit and let something happen and be, you know, and not be proactive when you're proactive in everything else in your life?
Thank me. Ty, you wanted to
So
respond. I'm sorry.
no, it's more of a kind of it's an addendum to what Kwame just said. There's also two other factors we have to consider. We live in a society right now where a man's approach can lead to other issues. You say the wrong thing to the wrong person, you could be accused of being a predator or worse. That's one. Two, making yourself available is not being a hunter, but allowing someone to know that you're game. Koi, we are. I'm assuming everyone here is over 35. Koi gets you nothing. It's kind of a play on what he said about closed mouth. I don't think you need to come out and chase a dude, but I do think it's impertinent and important to also make it clear of your intentions toward a young man or toward an old man, so that person, old or young, can now go, okay, let me not take the shots I need to make this into something, be it something long term, short term, or whatever you guys decide it to be. But to just wait.
Right.
If a man just to wait or a woman just to wait, then neither of you gain anything. Someone has to make a move. If you think that it's worth it, then that person, you make the move. Whoever, someone has to, basically. You can't wait around and play daffodil on the corner. That's what
Right. So go ahead.
I'm gonna
Go
say,
ahead, Tanisha.
okay, I would say I agree. Considering that everybody's over 35 at this point, right? Even over 30, I agree with the whole idea of making your interest be known. I
Right.
just don't agree with me having to chase you down and convince you to like me. You know, that's the part I'm saying that I just don't believe in that. And I don't believe that, even though, as he would say, the competition is fierce, like they get like the dating game, I hate to call it a game, it still is what it is. You know, men are still going to do what they want. People are going to do what they want to do. Men are going to do what they want to do. They're going to commit to who they want to commit to. You know, I can't micromanage or make you choose who you want to choose. You know, the only thing I can say to you is, hey, I'm open, I'm available, and these are my interests, or this is my intention, or this is what I'm interested in. You know, but I'm not going to start hunting you down, blowing up your phone, asking you out, paying for your meals, pursuing you, standing on the corner, hoping to get your attention. Like,
Yes. I
I'm
I
just,
love the list. I love.
I'm
Hey,
just,
but that's
Wait,
an
wait,
unfair list,
Go
though.
ahead, Anthea. Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with that, Tanisha. I think going back to the letter, I think the easiest thing for that person to do is to just say, hey, I like you, to the person that she likes. And whether they want her or not, or want to reciprocate or not, then that's fine. At least she made her intentions known. But I don't look at that as a way of her trying to pursue or hunt him. She's just making her feelings known to him. I really like you. I think you're a great guy. And whether he does anything with that, that's up to him. But to sit there and hope that he's going to just call her or ask her out or ask her to this function, to me, I think it's a little bit unrealistic,
So
because
I so I have
20
a
other girls are probably asking him.
yep. It's interesting because Renee, whose T-shirt I have on, sexy. She said, I think I had to sexy rock pieces. She said, I think women are buying into. I think women are buying into old norms. I mean, the game has changed a little. No.
I
Yeah.
think it depends on what your intentions are. If your intentions are just to say, I'm dating, like, it depends on what your intentions are. If your intentions are, you know what, I'm going to have a hot girl summer and I'm just out here to kick it, ask the dude out. Get yours. You're in and out, you're dibbling and dabbling. What's your intentions? What are your intentions and what's your goal? What's your short-term
But
goal? What's your long-term goal? You, like, what are the goals here?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I
Yep.
think you got to consider that. What are
So
you?
yeah. So I think because the key thing that she wants is to be chosen. And let's get into the conversation of like, what does it mean to be chosen for a woman versus a man, especially at our age? If you've never been chosen, and I'm not saying married, but just chosen, like this is who I want. I got the person I want. They chose me. What does it mean to be chosen in a relationship?
It depends on who's choosing you. Is it really?
Yes. Yes. Because
Because
I look at it as a bag of apples. When you go grocery shopping, you want to choose the one that you want. You don't want to just have any old apple roll into your basket and you end up just going to the cashier and paying for any old one. You choose the one you want.
So, okay, so you say like a bag of apples. Some apples are real shiny, but when you bite into them, they
exactly.
They
soft,
sour.
they sour, they
It
ain't
could be
juicy, they don't
sour.
have shit.
Some
Right.
are
So
sweet.
sometimes there's no value in being chosen. I mean, you want to think that one has enough self-esteem in themselves
Yes.
that they're not really buying into the
so,
whole game.
Right.
so I'm sorry.
Kwame and then
Go ahead, Kwame. 'Cause I think Kwame gonna say what I'm saying.
All
Kwame,
right,
you
so
on?
then,
Go ahead.
so let's use the supermarket example. So let's say the supermarket just got a fresh batch of apples. All right, we know every apple in that vegetable stand are not prime apples. So if the apples were just delivered and then you're the first one, so basically it's timing. So you're the first one to get the exposure for the fresh batch of apples. You're the first person to get picked for all the fresh apples. The person who came 50th or 5 hours later has the exposure of getting what's left. So a lot of times it's timing. A lot of times it's, what the apple you pick isn't the apple that everyone else wants.
Are you trying
And
to
a
sell
lot
me
of
leftover
Are you trying?
apples?
I'm like, wait, go ahead, Kwame. That's shady. I'm like, are you trying to say the apples have never been picked or bruised and nobody
There's a
wants
lot
them?
of leftovers. Like damn.
All right, put you this way. I put you this way. The same batch of apples that's available Friday are not the ones that are choosing
Yeah.
on Sunday. So if you're going, a lot of it is timing, and a lot of it is, what do you value? So some women value guys that are 6 feet and over. Some women don't value height. My brother won the height lottery on the panel. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He Kareem Abdul-Jabbar height. Most men will want that height, and a lot of women value that height. So what's left is maybe a lot of guys, no shade, that's 5'8", 5'7", 5'6", and a lot of women be like, I don't want them apples. You know what I'm saying? But it's what you choose. So
But
I
them
mean,
6-foot apples could be sour too.
So we talked about what women want. What are men looking for? How do you want to be chose? Like women, we do the choosing too.
Mm-hmm.
Women choose. Women are at the gate for sex. Men are at the gate for marriage. So a lot of times women know what it is. We want, not initially, some of us, we want the sex along with the companionship, along with your loyalty, along with a lot of stuff. But women, I don't want to keep pointing and pricking at this, but the availability of the top guys out here, most women want them, but they go quick. And a lot of average guys, it's almost like, well, you know what? Then if I can't get the top guys, then I'll settle. And that's when average guys are like, well, hold on, what you mean you settle? That's where a lot of average guys get offended, because women choose them as settling.
Okay. Ty,
What you think?
you go ahead. You were.
I think the whole idea of choosing is ridiculous. We're not 12-year-olds. We're grown-ups. D Park said the other day, not just any, well, just now. I like what D Park said about any old hunter. That's true. We are at this point now. We should be looking at is being chosen within. Is being chosen about a physical attribute? Is it about the intelligence? Is it about potential for children? Potential for age? Potential for growth? What are the variables are inside this choosing thing? I'm more, me personally, I'm more akin, and I think I've been lucky enough to try to figure out what I want from that person and what I want from myself, and they align. Maybe align is a better word than chosen. Actually, you know what? Align is a better word than chosen. Because the alignment is not there, all the choosing in the world with those apples mean nothing. Because you can choose some apples, and like you said, maybe you want a Macintosh. And maybe that Macintosh tastes nasty or just sitting up there too long, as Kwame pointed out. So maybe we need to change our language, and with language changes how we look at things.
Okay. Yes. Align, chosen.
It's not the same thing. Nope.
It's not the same thing, but you're still making a choice or a decision to align yourself with that person, Ty.
Right, but the word align requires you to also do some due diligence. The word align also suggests that you have sat there and not just and look not just on choosing someone based on some crazy abstract variables, but looking about what makes the two of you work. Align suggests that there's some process involved in your head that hopefully included some self-thinking and group thinking. Align, that's different than saying, he chose me. And you chose, and you might be really cool now, but could be a mask. And then the real dude comes out later on, or the real woman comes out later on that you don't want to fuck with. Like, let's be adults about this shit.
So how do you know that you have aligned yourself with the right person?
You communicate. You take your fucking time. I mean, look, let's keep it 100. You can align against getting some ass, align and getting a future. In both the scenarios, if you're doing it right, you're communicating.
Okay.
If you communicate on either one, if it's just sex or it's for a long-term situation, you'll commit yourself to figuring out what that is. And you know there's going to be some mistakes. You know something's going to go wrong because you're human beings. But at least you have a sense of what that process is, and you built something to make it work. Whether it's get some sex or to build a situation or relationship. At some point, people got to be grown-ups. That is a missing element, I think, in the conversation of being chosen. Like the young lady in the letter, she wants something, but she's not willing to put herself out there as an adult to present. And from what we know, we don't know the full capacity. What we know, she's not going to go out there and go, "Hey, Jim or Jamal, I think you're cool. We should go on a date." And then, which hopefully Jamal, being sensible, will go, "Okay, let me get into hunter gear and go make this." If he wants her anyway, let me go into the modes that, like the doctor said, to make it into reality, or have sense enough to go, "Sister, I like you as a friend."
So
And then
somebody
everyone can move
agrees
on.
with you, Ty. Some people think the word chosen is very judgmental.
It's archaic.
But
But can
I mean, is it really?
I was about to say,
Really.
I would say I agree with him, because when you talk about alignment and knowing that you're with the right one, when you guys are together, like you're willing to do, you have the right one because you're willing to do the work that needs to be done in order for that relationship to work. Because as time is going on, your needs or his needs are going to change. And if that means that you guys are going to counseling or going to therapy, or you are constantly changing or bending at certain points, because your needs at 40 are going to be different what your needs are at 50, and what your needs at 50 are going to be different at 60. So you have to be with someone who's constantly willing to grow with you. And at any point when that person stops willing or is not willing to grow with you, that relationship has pretty much ran its course. So that's what I mean when I say that, when he's saying I agree with him, that's when you know that you are with or not with the right person, when that person stops or is not willing to grow, communicate, and change with you or with the relationship as it's growing or developing in whatever direction it's going into.
And Natalie, you know
And
that
both
for
needs
me.
are being met. Like, you got to meet their needs, they got to meet your needs, and that's why you guys got to be constantly growing, communicating, and doing everything together. That's how you know you're with the right person.
And I've seen both. I've done the communicating, and the reason why I'm single now, we stopped being aligned, and we didn't realize how misaligned we were until we realized my train was going to Pittsburgh and her was going to Santa Fe. Like, oh
Right. So
shit!
you made a choice to get off the train.
Because we were
It's
going
always a choice.
no, it was a choice because we were going two different directions, and either
Right. But that's what I'm saying. The thing is
we
like
weren't aligned.
choose
The word
align,
aligned.
but the alignment is the work. But go ahead, Anthony.
Go, I'm sorry, Sunshine.
Can I just say something? Remember when you played sports and you got chosen to be on the team?
Right. Exactly.
And you're like, I got chosen. And then you sat on that bench when you didn't get chosen and you felt a kind of way.
Thank
You
you.
know,
No, well, you didn't
yes,
play sports clearly.
yes, the word chosen is a little judgmental. I agree. But actually, that's what we want to hear.
But
let's
but
let's
but,
use let's use
That we
your
were
let's use your
chosen.
analogy. Let's use your analogy for
right.
sports. If you audition for a sport or a play, it's not just you're chosen. You might be the best player on a team, best player in the park, but it may not be the right person for that team.
So then you
Right.
but then you're on
So
the bench. How
right.
good
So the alignment is the actual work of trying to fit yourself into something. Because the choosing part is just going, hey, I don't like that. Cool. Okay, we can rock with that. That's the why I say it's archaic. I like Sally. So then what?
you gotta do
Right.
the
So
work.
I think so we're gonna dig deeper in what is all the stuff behind being chosen, right? Because it's a choice and then it's the work. And I think the alignment is the work that Ty you're talking about, right? Because yeah, you can choose anybody, right? Like you said, hot girl summer, or you make a
Or lukewarm. So
choice, right? Or hot boy summer, or you
That's
make a
right, Derek.
conscious
Lukewarm.
choice. Hold on, you make a conscious choice every day to put in the work to make it work, right? Or it just naturally, or you continue to have conversations. I agree with you. I think it's both, but you do have to make a choice to be with that person.
yeah.
I mean, like when people, I think that even thinking about it, because as Anthea said, when we think about people who have been married or in long-term relationships, do we diminish the value? Because I know when people are just like, "Have you been married?" I'm like, no. The nonverbal they give me is
It's
really interesting.
judgmental.
It's judgmental. So there is like, what do you think? Do we think the value goes down when someone has not been chosen or put in the work to be in a long-term relationship and so on and so forth. Because there's people I know who are 50 plus years old and have not been chosen or aligned or whatever else.
You mean like people? You mean society judges? Because I've never been married, and society
Yes. Yes.
us,
Society judges.
right?
Yes.
They
Society,
do, especially black, especially women.
right. But
Yes.
then I look at some people like, well, how long have you been unhappily married? Do we want to go there? Or are we not talking about that?
Well, Tanisha, what is your response? Or I mean, besides the counter, you're right. But when
Because
you
when they
are
look
right,
at me like, oh, I'll be like, well, how many people you know unhappily married? Because I sleep very good at night. You see how my skin ain't cracking?
Lord.
I mean, that's, when people look at me crazy, because you're not going to be a little sarcastic sometimes.
right. But what are the comments that you get,
I
or
mean,
what?
I get comments like, oh
Well,
my
how
God,
old are you?
what's almost like, what's wrong with you? And like a crazy black woman, I'm almost like, no, I'm not crazy. I'm actually pretty sound and solid. It's just that, when you're looking for another person who is completely whole too, it becomes a little challenging.
So
Yeah.
can I just say, I realize the word chosen is very triggering to some people because I think we associate being chosen or not being chosen as something is wrong with us if
Right.
we're not chosen, either by a guy or for a sport or whatever the case may be. Somebody did say you were picked for a sport because you had value for the team, and you were picked for a relationship because you had value for that person, right? So yes, we do judge people. Society do judge people whenever they've never been married, because to them you've never been chosen and you've never added value to anyone else because you've not been chosen, or you weren't worth it. That's what society tells us. And sometimes we really believe it. Instead of saying, I haven't chosen the one that was right for me, we internalize that, oh, you haven't been chosen, as something bad. It's not a bad thing.
Right.
In some cases it's not.
Mhm. I mean, D Parks said, thank you, D Parks. Choosing is a step in the process. Kwame, I wanted to get your thoughts because I know you have been married and you did make a choice.
Yeah. So choosing or being chosen is relative because, and I
Mhm.
keep going back to this. I'm sorry, guys, but you could be chosen by a sociopath, and that's because you're being
Yes,
chosen as a victim.
yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not like, being chosen is relative. Number one. Number two, I like what Ty said. Anthea made the initial uh, example in terms of what we could all relate to being chosen a 5-on-5 full court on a basketball court. Either your past uh, 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 kind of precludes you from, I know what I'm getting with this guy based off of how he played in the park. So I'm going to choose him to be on my squad. Or he looks the part. I've never seen him before, but he has the basketball sneakers on. He has the basketball shorts. He's tall enough. He looks the part. So I'm going to choose him. But that's the initial process. That's the initial start. You have to play the part. You have to show your work. So just being chosen is not necessarily you've made it. You could be chosen in a Broadway
Amen.
play if you're not, living up to the director's, if you're not living up to what he or she wants you to be as an actor or actress, then you can be let go. You can be fired. So just being chosen initially is the first part, and pretty much everyone wants to be chosen to be, the one that the girl chooses to be the play on a full court basketball court, to be in the play, but your work is what sustains you, and it's that consistency that gets you the notoriety and that gets you the girl or that gets you the man in the long term.
Yeah.
It's the work.
Yeah. It was funny. Anthea shared an article about going back to society, about how when women get divorced, they don't necessarily give up their last name, right? Because there is, I mean, we as much as we claim we it's a bad thing to say that I was. That's kind of a way of saying I was chosen at one point in my life.
Absolutely. Yes, it's an
Mm.
ego thing.
It is part of the ego.
Yes.
No.
That's a generalization. It could be pure legal economics. You've been that for 17 years, 12 years. To come back from that and go to something else could be a bevy of issues of fixing your paperwork. I can't buy that. I'm sorry. That's a
There's a
stretch.
whole lot of women that
That's
are
a
walking
whole lot of
around
stretch.
with
I'm sorry. That's not even a stretch. That's a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Plastic Man stretch. There's other reasons why you don't do that. One, you've been using that name for X number of years. How you it's identifier for you, and we don't know that. That's too. No, sorry.
Sometimes it's about the children.
sometimes it is about the children.
Right,
That's
it's
Yeah.
children. There's so many factors
But
involved in
some of
that.
them don't have children.
But then
I hear
sometimes
you.
making a
No,
career or making a name for yourself, and that's the name everybody just
yeah,
calls
it's hard to break off that.
Okay.
Sorry, nah, bro. I can't rock with you on that.
I'm
It's,
just
a,
saying
it's an article. It was
it's
an
an
I know
article. I
article.
thought
that
it was
article gets
interesting.
the poo poo,
Okay, well, it's a thumbs down for you, Ty.
and Tanisha as well. Thank you, doctor.
Yeah. I can't
She
imagine.
passed the boards. Y'all didn't. I'm going with her. Sorry.
Whatever. All right.
Okay, and so on that note, listen, there are, I know there are women that have not been married for years and years and years and still use their married name or, when they were married.
Right.
And it is a way for them to say, I was chosen at some point. Believe it or not, some people are that petty and that judgmental.
I
And
think I think I think for women, look, in growing up, it's just like you want to at least be married once to say you're married. Why is that? That's
yes,
what was kind of instilled in our generation. And to sit up here, I mean, we've learned like, okay, that's not happened for some of us. I've
What do you
never
mean?
been
Why is
married
that? I don't
either.
understand. What do you mean? Why is that? We know why that is.
They
No,
Because
bought Hollywood, and
well,
it's
it's also the value of saying that somebody has chosen you. There is value to
are
you.
we gonna discount the fact they also could mean they were in love and wanted to spend their whole life they thought with somebody? Is that so? We're gonna just jump to
No, I'm
to
not
the
saying that. I'm
practicals
saying
and not
I
the
but
don't think
actual?
somebody
that.
chose you to love you and to be and to spend a life with you. There's some people,
We're
like
asking to start.
like Kwame said, you can be chosen by a psychopath.
I know.
That
I'm not.
doesn't add any value. But
I know.
when you
But
actually are chosen by somebody that you actually love or fell in love with, and it's a mutual choosing of each other, then that makes it even better.
but that story is over now.
Right.
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 Oh, you're saying that they still felt the need to hold on to the name.
Yes. Because at some point, I want to make people know that I am so valuable, that I was chosen or I was married or whatever. And that's probably their own insecurity for the people that they're around, or that's probably some sort of judgment that they themselves place on other people and believe that for themselves, that if they hold on to that name, then that makes them feel like I stand out a little differently from others who may not have been
This
married.
is this is a good question. This is
I'll,
like, go ahead, Ty.
I'll play the advocate. So, um, Dr. Francis is married. You sir. I don't know if she's married. The last name was Francis. It could have been Silverstein for all we know when she was born. We don't know what it was. How do I know that Dr. Francis is a name she was born with or a name she gained through marriage? There's no
No,
ring. I don't know. So
because you're not in the circles that require that from her. So there
so
may be circles that she's involved with that requires that from her, or they may not be. It depends on who you surround yourself with, your family values, how you grew up, what does
sure.
marriage mean to you and your family. It depends on a whole bunch of economics around where your social life has been. If you grew
So
up and it doesn't have no value for anything, then marriage or holding on to your married name means nothing.
That's what
I
I mean.
think
It's
a
to
lot
me.
of women have. I think a lot of women that have been married and then they're now divorced. A lot of them did not change their name for that very reason. No, like
I'm going to
either
say no.
they hyphenated the name or so on. I mean, I know people who have hyphenated or have always kept their name because they were just like, let me kind of.
I hyphenated my name because I wanted to make sure that my last name was still present in the title. And the minute I got divorced, I was able to keep, you know, paperwork actually does keep you from changing your name sometimes in modern times, but it's not a barrier to go back to your original last name.
So let's go back. Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
think Kwame wanted to say
Go ahead,
something,
Kwame.
but you're on mute, Kwame.
Okay. So again, it's relative. It's almost like having money. I guess the population of the whole, the world population, you know, they they aspire to have a lot of money. But then if you're rich and you have the money, you now know the stress of maintaining it and not letting it leave your bank account, so to speak, and trying to maintain it and build upon that, where that's the added stress that most people have no idea what comes with that. So with being married, yeah, I chose someone and yeah, they chose me, but I don't get my rocks off on being chosen in that aspect. I look at it as like, you know what, it not necessarily it was a failed venture, but that okay, I entered that marriage where both of us chose each other from going the distance, not necessarily, wanting to just be chosen, be married, and then that's it. I won. It didn't go the distance. So to me, there's no prize in being chosen and being married. I have the experience. I guess I can say I was, married whoop de doo. But you know, the win for me would have been to still be married and to go the distance with someone that we continually chose each other.
Right.
So again, I don't want to look at it as a failure, but to be chosen, like I said before, is the initial process. You have to go through. You have to, go through the process and the follow through.
Yeah.
And so the thing that we're not saying is there's a status in being married.
Some
And
people put
if
that pressure on.
they put the pressure on. I mean, look, let's really think of, I mean, if we talk about it truthfully and honestly, I mean, it is somewhat now at this point because there's so many single people at this point in the 21st century that marriage is somewhat of a status. And that's why I think when people say, okay, I'm in a long-term relationship, I'm in a partnership, I'm in something, we have civil unions, so on and so forth, I think when we say chosen or in the work to stay in that space to be aligned with them is the challenge, as Ty was talking about earlier. So but people still, I know a lot of people at this point still feed off of that need to be in that type
Absolutely.
of.
And then the single stigma is actually what is driving that judgment. Or you're single because something must be wrong with you. Or maybe we're single because we're happier being single, you know?
I mean, I think the thing is like when men come to the street, they be like, "You don't have any kids, you're not married, why?"
Right. They say
Exactly.
right. They say the
Exactly.
why. Or
Well, There's a different reason
Well,
for
wait
that.
a minute, Ty. Hold on. Before Tanisha and then you, Ty. Go
I,
ahead.
I was gonna say, or I get this too. Um, I get this too. Either they think something is wrong with you, or if there is a brother that is ready to get married, they automatically think you ready to get married too, and you like, oh, you single? Oh, okay, I know you ready to get married, and
Right.
you be like, whoa, hold on. Who said I was ready to get married? Like I didn't say that. Right? Everybody thinks that just because you single, you ready to get married today. And you be like, I did not say that. And who's I'm ready to get married to you.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
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 Exactly. Go ahead, Ty. Sorry.
So there's another variable when you ask. All right, so how do I say this? I'm about to fuck up my whole dating life, and I'm still single. But I know for me, I use me. Forget like in general. I do side eye or have some
Judgment.
concerns. About, no concerns.
It's the same
Concerns.
thing. It's a different word.
I'm not using the word
We
judgment.
talk
I have
about
concerns.
semantics. Come on, Ty. Come on.
Semantics. Oh
We
my
got,
God.
we got 15 minutes for that. Come on.
Look, I'm a politician. I'm using the words I'm supposed to use.
You don't got to be politically correct here. Go ahead.
Yes, I do. I'm still
Go
single.
ahead.
So I do have concerns in dating anyone over 40 who's never been married, has no kids, and or has never been in a long-term relationship. I probably won't do it. Because my concern is that you've never been in anything that forced you to compromise for good intentions.
So, what is your concerns with that person?
Because you may not know how to compromise. Because when you have kids or long-term relationships or marriage, you're forced to compromise for the big picture. It's not just about you. If your entire existence has been about you and your space and your wants and your needs without having to really address anyone else's or give up a little bit to get larger, I don't know, bro. I'm like,
So, is
and
that
kids.
so? I want to ask Kwame that too. Is so basically you're saying you see women who have never been married.
Or dudes too. I
Dudes,
won't also. I
I'm
won't.
asking the two guys on the panel.
I'm saying I won't go into business with dudes who haven't done. I won't go into business with a dude who's never been married, no kids, and no long term, because I still think the same thing.
Okay,
I can't
all
do
right.
this.
Kwame, do you agree if a woman has never been married or does not have kids at
And no
this
long term,
age,
and
who's
no
over
long term,
40, who's
and
over
no long
40.
term,
Hold
and no
on,
long
Ty,
term.
who's over 40. Go ahead,
She,
Kwame.
she has the whole entire part out.
To a point. So it what's the saying? The highest gift you can, so to speak, the highest gift you can give a man from a woman is her womb. So if she's been careful and not having slip ups and not giving dudes that she's not married to babies, I'm not going to hold that against her. If she hasn't found, because a lot of women haven't been married, but they've been proposed to and they've been, in relationships, for over, a year or two, they do have some experience under their belt. At our age, over 40, there's a lot of dynamics. And to Ty's point, I do look at women that haven't been in long-term relationships with a little side eye. Conversely, dating now, some women, I would say most women like the fact that I've been married and like the fact, like Ty said, when you're married, it doesn't become about you anymore. It's we, and you have to sacrifice a part of yourself. And women, in my experience, like that. So to Ty's point, I do agree with it to a point, but at this point, at my age, I don't want to judge individuals, because the man controls, women have to accept, of course, but the man asked the woman to get married. So it's not up to her for her not have to be married. It's variable with that. So I try not to hold, a lot of stuff against the woman because of the variable aspect.
Mm.
So you end up choosing
Go ahead. Andrew.
choosing the one that has been married or has been in a long-term relationship. So you're choosing those other ladies, right?
I'm
Or
again,
lying to yourself. I'm sorry with the semantics.
um at this age, some women, in my experience, like men who have children and who have been married. Most women, in my opinion, would prefer a guy that doesn't have children, that doesn't have a whole lot of baggage that would be deemed a negative. So it's almost like a give and take. I have the benefit, and I hope this doesn't come across the wrong way. I have the benefit of having quite a few options where I'm not limited to choose who likes me and I go for that. I have options where I can choose based off of what I'm comfortable with and what. See, I played a long game, so I no longer look at a woman's beauty as an entrance to what I feel that a woman is right for me. I look at what she's the choices and decisions throughout the last 10 to 20 years. And at this point in my 40s, her choices, her decision, her baggage, what I'm willing to accept, is what separates the woman that I want from the rest. And I hope that doesn't come across right.
So
But
let's talk. So let's. I was going to get into that because we have a little bit of time. I'm going to go over just a tad bit. Um, just like we were saying, there's someone you want. What is your process of getting chosen? Shit, I'm going to say chosen for whatever to get with that person. Align yourself. What is your process now? I'm gonna start with you, Ty. I'm gonna start with you, Ty. What's your process now? You don't
Ty
have to give
Boogie,
me. You don't have to give me all. You don't have to give me all your jewels. How you get in that?
It's simple. I posted it online a while ago. Boundaries are just selfish ones unless you have a discussion.
I don't know
So,
what that means,
meaning
Ty.
that, meaning that everyone walks into a situation with their boundaries, with their wants, with their needs. And at this point in my life, I think I know what I want and need, but I also know that what I want and need has to be discussed with the persons that I'm interested in. So if I'm not willing to have those kind of conversations, then I probably shouldn't fuck with them. So someone I don't want to talk to like that or have serious conversations with, then that my choosing apparatus is who do I feel I can talk to, who do I find sexy enough to have the conversation with, who do I think is intelligent enough to understand that conversation with, and who I want around to have the conversation with, period. So it really, because we're not, I mean, it's not like we're in high school where she's pretty, I'm just going to date her because she's fine. It really, as Kwame said, there are other variables at play here. I'm going to be 50 in a few months. My children are grown-ups. So my game is different than a lot of people. My game is about.
Hi, you not. What is your game? You giving
I
me
just told you. I'm not joking. My game is really having a conversation with somebody. Like, yo,
okay?
what's the
Thank
deal?
you. That's
Yeah.
thank you.
All that bullshit is bullshit.
Okay, all right. Thank you,
Okay.
Ty. Tanisha.
so
Suck ass.
Tanisha, what is you meet a dude? He's
On my
fine.
swing. On my
He's
swing, too.
fine. He's hitting all your things. I don't even call it on your list, but he's just hitting all kinds of antennas are going up. What's your process, girl?
My process, honestly, like I always told you, I date with intentions. I need to see if we are in alignment and if we desire the same things out of life. Um, I need to see like if our conversation pieces line up, if we are focusing and going in the same directions. I need to see if basically if we enjoy the same things, if our time management is the same way, if our lifestyles are the same way. Um,
So Tanisha, when has been a point give me just a maybe a recent or something in the
yeah,
last maybe couple years where you were like, "Ooh, we aligned." What was that? So just maybe it was a date, maybe it was a
uh-huh.
what hit you? What was it that hit
That I
you?
thought we were aligned.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I thought we were aligned because the conversation, the chemistry, everything seemed to be going in the right direction until it wasn't, until the work wasn't being done and the needs, everybody brings out their best representative until the needs weren't being met. Everybody isn't growing the way they're supposed to be growing. And I always feel like as a woman, as some of these men say, you know, as a woman who's in her 40s, who's never been married, who doesn't have any kids, who've done a lot of these long-term relationships, when it's time to start saying, okay, we're bending this way. As a woman, like, I'm bending, I'm giving, I'm doing my part. But the bottom line is that some of these brothers are not doing their work. They're not doing the work. And like, I would tell you that mental health, that therapy, sometimes dealing with childhood issues, it shows up in these relationships. And at 40 something, like, again, I can't micromanage, I can't be your therapist. And all I can do, I can support you, brothers, but it's like I can't do your work for you. And the older we get, it's like that emotional intelligence is real.
Yes.
It's a real thing. And and it's just like, you try and still have a family, and it's just like, really, bro, like, come on now, like, we still here. And
Mm.
right there, that misalignment, it's just like, you guys got to do your work, because here I am, and I'm going to show up 100, and I'm still waiting for brothers to meet me where they need to be. And then
Mm.
the accountability factor is there. And like Kwame said, the competition is fierce. And if there's going to be another sister on the side who's not going to hold him accountable, choose her and let me be at peace.
All right. So Tanisha, all right. Go ahead, Kwame.
uh Tanisha hit it right there, and it goes for women too. So I like to give the example of my favorite old time singers, Patty Austin, Patti LaBelle, and Aretha Franklin. Before Aretha Franklin passed, she still was getting booked for shows. So what am I trying to say? Life is about standing the test of time. If you've been working on yourself and you've been improving yourself, and you're not, at a point where, what, I'm too tired to go to the gym. I'm going to settle for Church's Fried Chicken. I'm not going to take my mental health and my physical health at the forefront. And, this is a long distance race, and you just stop working on yourself. You've already kind of limited yourself to a certain type of person or a certain type of tier. So living by standing the test of time, in our 40s, we don't have a lot of time to waste and to wait for folks. So if you are, especially coming out of COVID, if your priorities in terms of you putting yourself first, your mental health, your physical health, your finances, what Tanisha said is so on point. If you don't deal with your childhood traumas and your issues, it will manifest in your relationships in your 40s, 50s, and 60s. If you don't do the work and work on yourself and become whole and be solid, you're going to deal with these issues in your 70s and 80s. And people, men and women, that continuously work on themselves and be the best version of themselves, the universe has a way of rewarding you for that. And I'm seeing 40 something and 50-year-old somethings that are winning, that are getting married, that are happy. And it doesn't happen by accident. I'm 48 years old. Not, I don't have children. That didn't happen by accident. Now, I was, lucky in certain situations, but I was also careful too. So, just being a constant work in progress and being solid. That's the word I want to end with. Being solid with yourself and individuals is the best recourse in terms of what you put out, you'll get back.
Yes. Thank
Mhm.
you, Kwame. So we got about a minute, and then we're gonna take it to the app. We got a little less than a minute, but we're gonna just go over a little bit. Anthea, your thoughts before we kind of close out? You on mute, honey.
I just want to say at this age, when it comes to dating, I am not at the point where I'm not gonna say pick me, pick me. Don't I'm not trying to sell myself. I'm not gonna market myself as I'm the best person or whatever. What you see is what you get. I'm very transparent when it comes to dating now as opposed to when I was a little younger. And also, marriage is not the end all be all. We can have really loving long-term relationships without getting married and still be happy. So the judgment of never been married and all that stuff, I think that's what we need to work on trying to get out of people's head. Being chosen doesn't being chosen and not being chosen is not a bad thing.
It is. I agree. And I'm gonna end it with you got to choose you first before
Yeah.
anybody else can choose.
Amen.
So
Amen.
Because if you're not choosing you looking for some external force to wait and give you something that you don't even see in yourself. So on that note, we're going to take it to the after party. I want to thank our panel. They're going to be in the after party for a split second. So come on in. Yes, yes, yes. DJ Envy, rest in yes, yes,
No.
yes, yes.
That's no. That person who dropped that is foul. Yo, that is so
That's
foul.
so shady.
Yeah, that
Anyway,
is so shady.
420. See y'all in the after party. See y'all. We'll be in Antigua next week. If you guys did not, tickets are still cheap. Y'all can come for sailing week, right, Anthea?
Mm-hmm.
We'll be in Antigua next week. We'll probably do something taped and put it on, and then we'll be back live the beginning of
Following
May.
week.
Yep. See y'all later. Take us out, Mr. M.
Thank you, Natalie. Bye, Sunshine.
Bye.
Bye,
Guys, come to
Doctor.
the after party.
Go to
Everybody, come
comment.
to the after party.
Where's the after party?
It's in the link. I'll send it to you.
Link you never sent.
Okay. So I'll tell.
Oh. Look, my biggest problem is I don't believe the concept of in love. In college I was with Whitney. When she kissed me I felt in the heavens had descended upon me so strongly. I was wrong, B. She came from the Big Apple, wrong tree. I kinda sometimes feel like that was God perfecting me. I got with fat and low-key, she changed the trajectory of my vision. Supernatural circumcision from selfish ways, I'm on a mission. But to be alive, I said I never felt this way, I have before. But this love thing just ain't no grab and go, you have to pull. Everything inside our prayer don't hit the flow, simple as that. This just ain't rap, this ain't fictional. They may doubt it medicinal and make love seem conditional, but it ain't though. Hell, really? It's perfection. Even if it's like Anthony Hamilton's beard and come through in sections. The lesson, better yet the blessing, is the fact that it's the choice perception. In the wrong direction has the power to destroy your essence. Check your reflection, make sure that it's cool. For your protection, learn yourself before you learn in school. That you inadequate, truthfully I'm an advocate for these savages chasing these objects that be inanimate. I wish that I could give them something way more tangible. It's hard to get your gift from God when both your hands is full. With all your pettiness, acting Ed and Eddie-ish. Lack of umbrellas always make raindrops fall down the heaviest. Look, stand under something and hopefully it'll help you understand that everybody black on the inside like Folgers cans. Keep your composure, be careful how you approach a man. Pigs can't smell the odor of slop to know they grosser than most people. But ain't no one picture perfect on easels. Don't hate nobody, be godly, swear that poison is lethal. My cousin got out, got locked back up, that boy on the sequel. That penal system got his penal gland smothered in fecal matter. I'm still squashing all the chatter though. Them thotties try me, I dodge that bull like a matador. Far as the baddest go, my quota way past the status quo. That's why fat got my heart in the end like a Navajo or a Arapaho. I got nasty flow. Tell whack rappers take a backseat, I'm they chaperone. From the back straight to the trash, that's where they have to go. No cooning, no metro, I'm booming till my casket close. I should rap some more, but I have to go. R.I.P. Ali, but I'm feeling like Cassius though. Rope a dope, then go for broke like hooking laterals. Holy mackerel, my flow should be international. Ooh.
Join Stacked After Hours, The Spot, where grown men and women gather to have candid, also honest discussions about the state of life, love, and more. The Spot is a hybrid of in-person and weekly virtual gatherings. Join our Facebook group and answer our daily questions. Subscribe to our YouTube for our weekly live talk shows and join us on Zoom for our talk show after parties for lively conversations with other opinionated, grown, and sexy professionals. Just search, like, follow, and subscribe to Stack After Hours on Facebook groups and YouTube. Also like and follow our brand pages at Be Stacked Wellness on Facebook and IG. So wherever you are, at home or abroad, pull out your laptop, tablet, or smartphone and join in the conversation with the members of Stacked After Hours, The Spot, by Be Stacked Wellness. See you there.
As you know, and if you are new to the Stacked family, we always keep our conversations lit and enlightening.